Hey guys, Zach Tyler here, coming at you with a pretty cool deck that I've constructed. That's still a work in progress, but I thought I'd show you guys not really the rough draft, I'd say this is about the third draft of the deck through testing, and to get you guys feedback on it, kind of give me some suggestions and criticisms after I go over it, because I think this deck could use some improvement, but it's pretty good. Now, it's not like a regional deck, but it's a local potential topping deck, and it can be pretty consistent. So it's heraldic with a lightsworn engine, and so I'll go over the effects. I'll tell you what they all do, and I'll just kind of go over what the deck does because a lot of you may not know about this deck. So first of all, we're going to run one BLS because we have a lot of mill in this deck and a lot of deck thinning. So getting the 3 dark targets we have in the grave isn't that hard, and plus we have a few dark target XYZs, so if we have to, we can fall back on that. We have the broken card of the deck, Heraldic Beast Leo. During the end phase, if this card was normal summon this turn, destroy it. When this card is sent to the graveyard, add 1 Heraldic Beast monster from your deck to your hand, except Heraldic Beast Leo. You can only use this effect of Heraldic Beast Leo once per turn. So this card's great for several reasons. First of all, which I'll go into later, this deck runs essentially 7 Monster Reborns for Heraldics, and if you special summon it, he doesn't get destroyed during the end phase. 2, he's a level 4 beater that has 2,000 attacks. You can just normal summon him, swing, and at the end phase you get a free search. And 3, his effect is mandatory and when he's sent to the graveyard. So if you Foolish Barrow him, you get a +1. If you mill him, you get a +1. If you detach him for an XYZ monster, you get a +1. Which is ridiculous. It's kind of the same thing as Dandelion. Pretty much anything Dandelion can do, he can do. So yeah, he's really good. He's really broken search, especially when you start getting like Digestu, Emerald, or Lavalval Chain, and detaching Leo, and then getting that +1 plus a dump in the grave. So yeah, it gets ridiculous. Next is a pretty good card of the deck, Heraldic Beast Aberconway. If this card is in your graveyard, you can banish 1 other Heraldic Beast Aberconway from your graveyard to target 1 Heraldic Beast monster in your graveyard. Add that target to your hand. The effect of him can only be activated once per turn. So when I was first reading him, I was looking at Heraldics because I saw this guy and I saw the spell and trap lineup, which I'll go into in a second because it's broken. And I was kind of like, he's not that good. It's hard to get him in there. But it was like Lightsworn Engine plus you go deck thin so much in this deck that he's actually turned through second to third rough draft into live a lot of the times and a really good engine in the deck, especially for recycling Leos and recycling this guy, Heraldic Beast Alley. I only played him at 1, and I was playing some of the other ones just for the names, and then I realized how good he was. So if you control 2 or more Heraldic Beast monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. That sounds kind of at first, until I'll show you the spell and trap lineup, and it's actually really simple to get 2 out. And if you have 1 or even 2 of these guys in hand, you can just plus so much. It makes it super easy to go for Shockmaster or any other level 4 or 3 level 4 XYZs. And you can XYZ 2 or 3 times in one turn just because of this guy. Really good card. And then we have 2 Heraldic Beast Unicorn. You can banish this card from your graveyard to target 1 Psychic type XYZ monster in your graveyard. Special summon that target. Its effects are negated. You can only use the effect of Heraldic Beast Unicorn once per turn. So I only run 2 of him for the fact that what you do is you go into this guy, who is the anti-XYZ monster. He's pretty good. He's mainly just a beater, but when his effect does go off, it's amazing. And then I run 2 of him just because when you mill him, he's a name for Heraldic Beast, and when you mill him, you can banish him to just keep reusing this guy, and it creates a little loop. So that's really good. He's not useful. He's mainly for the name, but again, it's still good. Then you have the Lightsworn Engine, 3 Lilas, 3 Raikos. You get the 3 charges and the Charger Light Brigade, all just for the mills. To get this guy in the grave, to get this guy in the grave, to get this guy in the grave, and again, your dark targets. You actually have a lot of targets that you want in the grave, so it's nice. And then 2 Card Troopers for the mill. The +1's also nice, and the 1900 beater. Why not? So now we'll go into actually I want to move these over here so I can explain them all to you at once. We'll go into the broken part of the deck, which is why I want to make this their support. So first we have Heraldry Change. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, special summon 1 Heraldic Beast monster from your hand, then end the battle phase. So it's kind of like a battle fader, except it's when they declare an attack, and you special summon any of them, and you end the battle phase. It's really good for setting up Yali, like special summoning Leo, or whatever really. It's not as good as the other 2 I'm about to show you, but it is definitely a good card. It's protection, so you have 6 protection cards, and you get a monster on the field, so it gives you field presence. Next, we have the really broken card, Advanced Heraldry Art. Target 2 Heraldic Beast monsters in your graveyard, special summon both those targets, and then XYZ summon one XYZ monster using only those two monsters as its material. So, with this you can only go into, there are like constraints to it. You can only go for level 4s, you have XYZ with the 2 special summon. However, it's an instant XYZ summon. Pretty much it's a one card tour guide, and getting 2 in the grave, you almost always have 2 in the grave, so it's not hard at all. Because of your mills and your Leo searches. So you pretty much just use that card, and then you can go into your Heraldic King, your Dire Wolf, Daigusto, Evolve All Chain, and then when you detach for Leo, you get a +1 to the hand. So this card, if you have Leo in the grave, which you pretty much always do, you go Heraldry Art and anything you need, detach for Leo, Leo +1s, and you get the effect of whatever you used. Similarly, you can Heraldry Art for Aberconway, detach Aberconway for whatever effect, and then banish one of your other Aberconways, add one Heraldic Beast from your graveyard to your hand. So it's a really good card, especially when you start like baiting people out with it. It just gets ridiculous. Then another good card, Reborn Heraldry. Target one Heraldic Beast monster in your graveyard, special summon that target. It's a monster reborn. And when you use that on Leo, he doesn't get destroyed. So essentially you run 4 monster reborns in the deck, which is ridiculous. And then you have Whole, Reborn, Heavy, and Foolish Burial just to put your Aberconways, or if you want to get an instant Leo effect. Or even sometimes if you want to do Unicorn or add your Dark target. So it's just a universally good card. Now we'll go into XYZs that I run for the deck. We run 2 Heraldic Kings. You go into him quite a bit just because of Unicorn. And he's just a pretty good card for stopping XYZ plays. Obviously, in some matchups, you're not really going to go into him. But this loop is really good just for keeping that 2400 beater on the field. Next, you have Dia with the Terrafang. He's 2,000, which is alright, but once per turn you can attach one XYZ material from this card, target one Beast, Beast Warrior, or Vegan Beast type monster you control, and one other card on the field. Destroy them. So you can. The cool thing about him, you special summon him, you target himself, and then you destroy one of your opponent's monsters. And then if you use Leo for his effect, when you detach, Leo not only gets his effect, but you +1 to the hand, but you also stop them. And then also Leo's a beast. Eali's a beast, and Unicorn's a beast, and so is Raikou. So you can use him for all those as well if they're already on the field. But most of the time in testing that I found, you just go Advanced Heraldry Art if there's something you want to get over. Advanced Heraldry Art, Leo, and whatever else, him, kill the card that's annoying you, add for Leo, and then normal summon the card with Leo. So that's really good. Next you run Daigusto Emerald, just because you can shuffle your resources back in the deck to draw one. That's about it. Evolve All Chains are really good because you send your Leo, your Abercrombie, or your Unicorn to the grave. And if you detach the Leo, or if you attach Abercrombie to send the Leo and then use Abercrombie's effect, it's also an instant pluses. So that's always good. And then, so that's kind of like move this over here actually. This is kind of like my setup portion of the deck. Or the extra deck. This is kind of more my control-based portion with the Djinn. He's a dark that has BLS, and he's just a good 4 in general. Since this deck mostly just goes for 4s, you pretty much have everything in there. You have Gagaga Cowboy, just because you can get over 3,000 beaters, it can be really troublesome. And once or twice, I've inflicted 800 damage per game, which is just good. So why not? Then this is more my beater section of the deck. You got the Gemnite Pearl and the Utopia. And then actually this should be over here too. These both should be over here. There we go. And then you have Photon for the pesky defense position monsters, and Steel Swarm Roach if you're facing psychics or some other deck like agents that his effect would be good for. And then you run one Abyss Dweller just for you can run them from males or Dark Worlds or etc. etc. And it's a very very tech card, but I needed the space to be honest, so why not? Then you actually run 3 to level 4. Because again, getting 3 level 4 monsters out in the field is actually really easy. You'll probably do it at least once per duel. So Shockmaster, just because it's Shockmaster. Violent is Sigma. It's kind of like a removal card. If you need to get stuff off the field, you can actually get 2 cards off the field as effect potentially. And it's just kind of good in general. And then Thunderspark Dragon if you need to just clear the whole field. Because usually what you do is you go, when you go him, you get 2 of them out. You can go Yali, Thunderspark, detach all 3, destroy all the monsters on the field, and then you can use Heralded Advanced Art to just plus from there. So yeah, guys, that's the deck. Again, it's probably tier 2. It's definitely not a regionals deck, but it's definitely a locals deck, and it's fun. And I invite you guys to help me make it better. If you see any things you would take out or change, I've been thinking about changing this card, but sometimes it's just so good. Um, and yeah, that's about it. If you give me like, I don't know, 10 or 15 likes maybe, I'll post maybe 2 or 3 duels of me using it, show you guys what it's all about, how it works. But yeah, Heraldics are really good. Not really good. They're good. If they had one more like key card, like these two are like okay, but they're not like the greatest. Leo's what makes it really good, and then their spell and trap lineup is what makes it really good. If they had one more card they can run in threes, it would be definitely a competitive in the more upper scene uh, format. But they don't currently, so right now we're just stuck with this. They also could use another level 4 because one really annoying thing is that he requires 2 Heraldic Beast and he's Heraldic King, so you can't use the Reborn. You can't use this guy if you have 2 of them. It's kind of dumb, but you know, whatever. Leo's broken, and that's pretty much the whole point of this video, right? Leo's broken. So, anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys later. See you later, YouTube.